Hi everyone. Today on the desk we have a Philips, very old Philips from 1965. This model is a B4X52AT. This radio was built in Eindhoven, Netherlands, Holland they call that time, and it's a completely transistor radio. It has a long wave from 1150 to 2000 meter, medium wave 185 to 577 meter, short wave 25 to 50 meter, and FM 2.7 to 3.4 meter. Of course I'm telling in meters, but in the kilohertz it's a long wave, a medium wave, short wave, and the FM from 88 to 108 megahertz. The dial over there is in meters. That's why I just feel to tell you in the meters. So there are two ways of telling. One just to measure the wavelength of the frequency into meters. Other is just telling in the kilohertz and the megahertz frequency. So yeah, this radio, very interesting. It can be operated on AC 127 to 220 selectable voltage, power consumption 15 watt, and it's a complete transistor radio with a germanium transistor. It has 11 transistor used in this radio to tune the AM and the FM frequencies. It sounds really awesome, and I would like to tell you these are the two knobs for the tuning. One is for the FM, other is for the AM. AM mean long wave, medium wave, and the short wave, of course. This is volume, tone, and the treble and the bass. And you can also do the pickup cassette player. You can put CD player. Now input with a DIN connection is mono amplifier, of course, but any mono input you can do, and still you can hear that output. And then here is the FM. This is a short wave, and this is the medium wave and the long wave, and this is on and off button. And dial is a back. You see it has a backlight, and it's very nice. So let me show you some circuitry from inside. Then we connect some antenna. Of course, for long wave and medium wave we don't need to connect antenna. It has a ferrite antenna inside, but for the FM and the short wave we need. Let me turn other side. Okay, we are at the back of radio, Philips radio, and this is the power supply, the step down transformer. And this is the bridge rectifier, which is converting AC into DC voltage, and it has a very big electrolytic capacitor for filtration. Interesting. And this is the fuse. If any short circuit further, then the fuse will blow and further damage cannot be done. And this is the voltage selector. Now it's on 220 in the Europe, and this is 127 for America, and some other countries like Japan they use 110, 120. It can be selected over there. And this is for the external speaker, and it's 5 ohms. That's what it say on the back side. And this is for the DIN connection for the input of the pickup, phonograph, or the tape cassette player, or any audio input through the DIN connector. And this is a earth, and this is the AM antenna for the short wave, and this is the FM antenna. It can be a ribbon antenna. The schematic diagram says 240 ohms. Usually ribbon antenna is 300 ohms impedance, but 240 ohms they say can be input. But any small piece of wire, if you plug over there, you will be able to receive local FM stations without any problem. This is the ferrite rod, and this is a antenna for the medium wave, and this is for the long wave. So that's how you can receive the long wave and medium wave radio stations without any external antenna. Of course, you have to move the radio to get this ferrite antenna into direction of the signal to get good reception. And there is a speaker over there, 5 ohm speaker made by Philips. Very interesting circuitry. And the printed circuit board, you can see all the components are of course on the other side. And with the FM antenna, you have one picofarad capacitor in series, just in case. So yeah, and I could see here, you see the black part, that might be was an adding up the speaker over there, but later on design has changed, so they did not put a speaker over there. A speaker they put over there in the chassis. So maybe this casing was used for some other models also. That what it seems like to this space, because it's made like a round driver speaker enclosure. All right, so that is the circuitry done. This is the back cover, and it's very easy to open. 3 screws down, and it's made of plastic, it's not backlight. I would like to remind you not to open any electronic equipment while it's plugged with the electricity. There is always risk that one can get electrocuted. If you have a background in the electronics, if you learn it, if you study it, if it's your profession, of course, then you know what you are doing. But if you don't have any background, no any knowledge, I advise you not to open any electronic equipment. If there is a problem, bring to a service to a qualified technician. Don't try to attempt to play with it. Even though if the power supply is the electricity is disconnected from the outlet, still this kind of big electrolytic capacitor, they should be charged, and they'll be able to, not these are small, but this kind of big, they'll be able to give you a very good electrocution. So please don't do it. It's a piece of advice. Now I close the back end, and then we do the sound test. We see how this radio performs in the reception, check the sensitivity, tune some stations, check the audio quality. Give me a second, please. So I connected some piece of wire as the antenna for the FM and shortwave. So we try to see what we can get on this radio.
Bloedend tandvlees. Dit kan komen door het mogelijke domino-effect van tandplak, slechte adem en...
This is the volume.
Parodontax helpt de vroege tekenen van bloedend tandvlees om te keren. Parodontax is een medisch hulpmiddel. Lees de gebruiksaanwijzing. Vehicle back to school met vibra-mode. Regenjassen en nog veel.
And this brown is a tuning for the FM. And you can see needle over there for the FM, for AM this side.
Antisch uit.
Vanaf 16.000 zo. Wat klaar staat om te zorgen dat ik voor de aanstaande maandagavond.
This is almost 9 in the evening, so it's the news time everywhere. Here is a tuning meter. I'm not sure if you can see that.
€40 per maand. Onderhoud, reparatie.
Beter rijden, beter. Iedereen die zelf bepaalt.
Ontdekte.
En dat smaakt.
This is treble.
bouwsolar.nl.
Profiteer nu van de Hayai-sushi megatilt. De grootste, maar er komt nog een hoop aan, is een frauderechtszaak. Andere partijleider.
Bij aankoop van €50, 2 kilo vleugels, gratis. Zo, nee. Slag.
En munitie aan Oekraïne overgedragen.
Weet de politie nog niet. In Zoetermeer in Zuid-Holland. Voor de mishandeling van de meisje van 13. Dat
FM,
gebeurde begin
we
deze
go
maand.
to the shortwave. Shortwave.
Models include OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard. However, the Pentagon has shown no intention towards utilizing the existing ones. Instead, it aims to train its own models using its internal data. The Pentagon's focus at the moment is on improving its decision making by analyzing data from sensors and formulating possible courses of action. To achieve this, the U.S. Defense Department is actively conducting experiments with 5 large language models to investigate their potential for data integration and Control-C, mari de Confucius simplifici conusui. Projet de budget de l'électrique.
Okay, here we go. We got a real pressure.
It is All India Radio, New Delhi.
내 나이가 어때서? 사실 내 나이가 어때서를 부른 가수 오승근 씨
It's amazing that on the piece of wire it can receive the station so clearly.
политическим штампом. 23 августа 1973 года.
Sunt la Floreasca, în capitală. Acolo a fost astăzi și președintele Klaus Iohannis, care i-a vizitat pe pompieri internați, iar ulterior a atras atenția asupra incidentului. Sus aspectos militar, económico, energético y político. Habló el martes durante una reunión en Bucarest con los jefes de misiones diplomáticas.
This is Radio Romania, Bucharest.
助力產業事業發展。隨住吉林省高校創新創業文創類聯盟嘅正式啟動，省內近6
Accidente de tragedii nu poate să rămână fără urmări clare.
It's amazing to see shortwave spectrum is full with the radio stations. And for medium and long wave, we don't need this piece of wire antenna. I can take this out. You see there is no shortwave. This is medium wave.
school, and he had a TA, a teaching assistant. So, for me, they were doing the best.
That all changed though when he went to secondary school. Academically, he was fine. He was getting above average grades in maths, English and science. But he started getting into trouble. He was struggling to focus, shouting out in lessons and arguing with teachers. The school responded by repeatedly putting him in isolation, which led to him being suspended.
I remember going to a meeting and I just saw it because it's marked yellow. And I went in there with the deputy head. I can even show you his, yeah. He came and he just gave me this. And he was...
You have to move to find the right place.
Hit a boy around the head, so that was, they were both case fighting. So it's like just highlighting certain parts. There was other things. CJ arrived next.
Behaviour, if I'm going to be real, I recognise it from a lot of my friends in school. For me anyway, kids of a certain age, a lot of this behaviour, you would just expect it.
Exactly.
Keisha says this meeting changed the course of her son's life. He was excluded. Keisha was shocked, but it shouldn't have come as
BBC,
any
I think, on the long wave.
Children with special educational needs are 5 times more likely to be excluded from mainstream school, according to the Department for Education. CJ was sent to a pupil referral unit, or PRU. For most, this to be a short-term placement, with the aim to reintegrate children into mainstream education as soon as possible. But that doesn't always happen, and it's fair to say they don't have a great reputation. Only 4% of kids in alternative provision pass GCSE English and Maths, compared to 64% in mainstream schools.
I need to go and find out. It was the head of year, and I was like, no, me and you, take my number. Anything you have with him, because I don't want my son to...
There's a lot of static noise on the lower frequencies like long wave and medium wave. So it's hard to receive stations. Not many stations are transmitting on medium wave anymore. But yeah, long wave you can get Radio Paris and BBC and some other stations in the evening. Well, I'm quite impressed with the reception capability and the sound quality of this Philips radio from 1965. Amazing. This looks good also.
Was this the first time you'd ever heard the mention of
anything like this? Anything at all? My son
it can fit in any interior decoration vintage setting.
Keisha jumped in the cab and rushed to the area where he was.
But I said, see? He saw me and he drove behind the bush. And CJ, he's got a rucksack. The rucksack is light as hell. Yeah, so
I hope you like this video, and if you wanted to see any more rare old radios or any hi-fi equipment, please tell me on the comments. I try to acquire it and make video about it. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.